the current law prohibits anybody helping a loved one to die, even if they are suffering unbearably, and plead with them for help. And this results in the most incredibly cruel deaths for a small minority of people. For example, if people are vomiting constantly, cannot stop, and are allergic to antiemetics, they desperately want this to come to an end. There's no future, no joy, no nothing, just absolute suffering. Alternatively, people might vomit up their own feces. Can you imagine it? Because of constrictions in the bowel for medical reasons. Similarly, people may be suffering from unbearable pain due to cancer. Most pain can be well controlled by our wonderful palliative care services, but for about 2% of cancer patients, for some reason, the pain cannot be adequately controlled. Then you've got motor neurone disease, terrible thing, where gradually, or maybe even fairly fast, you lose every possible capacity to move any bit of your body, so that in the end you can't swallow, you can't eat, you can't drink, you can't speak, you can't communicate if you're in pain or anything else. So there are appalling, really appalling consequences of the current law. And all we're trying to do is to have a very modest reform restricted to terminally ill people with no more than 6 months to live who are facing unbearable suffering and who desperately want some control, some ability to choose the point at which they've just reached the end of the capacity to cope with their suffering. So it is a highly compassionate bill, and it will have huge benefits for us all, really. We can live better if we know we haven't got this fear in case we're one of the unlucky ones at the end of it all.